Welcome to 30 days of holiday live streams. This is for you guys. We are covering some really cool stuff. Today, we are going to be talking about emotional hunger. And before we get started, if you are loving these live streams, this is your first time tuning in, go ahead and share this. Let your friends know what's up and what we're up to and how we are really covering. We're going to thrive this year with the holidays and just kind of getting your mind right, getting your mind programmed in a different way, where this year is your time. We've got about 7 weeks left. So we're going to go on a 7-week sprint and get you operating at the highest level possible in your life so you really can start thriving and just changing the trajectory of how your life has been moving from this point on. And the biggest thing is really getting in your head, as well as giving you a game plan and strategies and some playbooks. So go ahead and share this with friends. Let friends know what's up. Make sure that they're joining this live stream. These live streams are also recorded. So of course, later on, you can go back, watch the replay, drop your comment below and some of the takeaways. One more thing that I ask you to do before we get started is, if you find a very valuable segment of information that I say, you can just rewrite it, put it in the chat so that when people come in a little bit later, they can go ahead and scroll and they could see maybe something that they missed because they got on a little bit later on. So if you could do this, awesome. Go ahead and just drop some love, give some hearts if you're excited. If you have any questions, please go ahead and put them in the box and I will answer them. I'll see them, I'll answer them. And so let's get started. My name is Tanya Oliver. I'm going to be coaching you guys through today on emotional hunger. And these are some really big triggers that people go through when it comes to the holidays, and they get confused because there's something called the vagus nerve that has a lot to do with our stress and whether and how we respond to certain things. And when we are under a lot of stress and the internal dialogue and also our external environments, our internal and our external environments, our vagus nerve can get overloaded and activated. And sometimes we have high levels of cravings and desires. And these cravings and desires can really set us back on achieving our progress and what we're trying to really accomplish in our life, in our businesses, in our life, in our bank accounts. And these cravings, because they become so strong and intense, especially when cortisol's released, that vagus nerve gets activated, and we cave in and we feel like our willpower muscles, which we're going to cover throughout this series, not today, but our willpower muscles weaken. So there's about 5 core ways to strengthen a weak will. I'm going to write that down. Weak will, because that's important stuff to cover as well. When it comes to this, and every single day, depending on if you're caving in, if you're feeling weak and you give in to these cravings, it could be food, it could be relationships, it could be stimulants like smoking or drinking and anything, doing drugs, doing whatever you're doing that you know is tearing you further apart from yourself. Because if our goal is to operate as our most elite self, to become mentally, physically, and emotionally healthy and strong AF, to live life vivaciously, there are certain things that need to be put in place. And understanding all aspects of you, what am I truly hungry for? I learned this specific thing when I was on my journey of overcoming self-sabotage and helping actually a few clients understand this. And when you understand the way that you move, you can reclaim control over and transition your obstacles into opportunities and your pain into power, because that's the whole theme. So this 30 Day of Thriving, the theme around this is transitioning your obstacles into opportunities and your pain into power. And with that comes really self-mastery, understanding yourself, understanding your cravings, understanding your emotional hunger. And I'm going to share in here with you of some core things that I learned from Deepak Chopra. And we have, what am I truly hungry for? A lot of times our hunger doesn't have to do with physical. It has to do with more emotional needs that aren't being met. So we have our physical hunger and we have our emotional hunger. And there's 4 basic needs that every individual needs met. Everyone needs to feel safe and secure, number 1. Number 2, everyone needs to feel nurtured. Number 3, everyone needs to feel loved and appreciated. And number 4, everyone needs to feel that their life is relevant and meaningful. Deepak defines happiness as the state of fulfillment. And people find it hard to change, but you have to have great motivation working for you. Remember, motivation isn't reliable because it comes and goes. The difference, we talked about this earlier, about the difference between motivation and inspiration. Inspiration is a pulling in spirit. Motivation is a pushing. And nobody likes to be pushed around for too long. So if we break down into 2 answers as to why we reach for stimulants to fulfill us, because cravings and desires are, I need something outside of myself to fulfill me. Your needs aren't being met, which we talked about those 4 core needs just a second ago. I need this in order to feel fulfillment, because happiness is a byproduct of fulfillment. And you're trying to fill a hole as quickly as possible because that's the only tool you have to help you find relief through your pain. We talked about in earlier segments, so make sure you go back and watch these series. Each series come down to different core topics that we're talking about. And today's more about the emotional hunger and the memories and attachments that are associated behind that. So if you don't feel secure, most of the times we're going to dull ourselves by eating or drinking, doing drugs, smoking, because that dullness brings a calmness, which is a short-term relief. A lot of times we use things to help us find relief from our pain. And if pain is temporary and suffering is things that we do because we don't have the right tools to help us go through the pain, then suffering is optional and pain is real. And another reason is you don't feel nurtured except when you stimulate yourself or you're overstimulated, not feeling loved and appreciated. So we turn to substances or stimulants to find love in that moment of time because we don't know how to process being within ourselves. And another reason is we lack the meaning in life. And so we try to fill that emptiness for a short period of time. And these are more of the emotional hunger needs. So people think that physical hunger, that physical stimulation, it's just a byproduct of our emotional hunger. And so just understanding, what am I hungry for? What are my emotional needs that are not being met? If we come back into these 4 that we talked about, 4 basic needs as a human being: feeling safe and secure, nurtured, loved and appreciated, and also finding meaning and relevance within our life. And if you can write those down, they're so critical. And then you can even come up with a toolbox of how am I pouring into me, and understanding that it's nobody's job. It's nobody's job to fulfill those needs but yourself. And there can be other people that add more value to your basic needs and wants, but it is nobody's responsibility and nobody's job to pour those into you. Those are things that you have to find ways of fueling within yourself, and that's your personal responsibility, nobody else's. So remember, if you guys have questions, go ahead and put them in there and we'll answer them, of course, in relation to this category, something that you might be struggling with in silence, that you would like some answers to, understanding your cravings, your desires, your emotional hunger, how to process things without hurting yourself and without hurting others, so you can really thrive. Because thriving is really about making progress. So maybe just being that 1% better this year will be more successful than you were last year. Of if you can course correct what some poor decisions or undesired decisions that had undesired outcomes, and this is your new opportunity. Remember, opportunity, transitioning obstacles into opportunities. This is your new opportunity to make progress. So emotional hunger has a lot of memories and attachments. These are also known as cellular impressions. When we do something over and over and over again, we create pathway in our brain. It's called oh my gosh, I'm blanking out here. Neuro pathway. We create a pathway in our brain. So when we say, okay, this is the trigger, this is my emotional hunger, and this is how I feel it for the short game. Remember, there's a difference between the short game and the long game. And we have to get clear on, okay, if I made these decisions because it was a decision, because this was maybe the only thing I thought was going to help me with fulfilling my loneliness, fulfilling my emotional hunger, fulfilling my pain, fulfilling my feeling safety and security, and it didn't, because for the long term it wasn't satisfying. You crave more, and that's how you know, did it satisfy you, or are you still intensifying the cravings and the desires for it? This is anything. It's just not about food and alcohol. It's also about relationships. It's about everything, you know. Satisfaction. What is satisfaction? When will we ever be satisfied? Big conversations that we've been having lately with my clients and my students. So, but I want to stay focused on emotional hunger. So what am I craving? And get clear and be honest. Like, what am I truly craving? Out of those 4 things that we mentioned earlier, those 4 things, are these needs being met? And how can I fill these needs without harming myself and without making decisions that are going to lead to an undesired outcome? Because that's what a consequence is. Consequences are decisions we make, and that's what karma is. It's cause and effect. When I do this, this is the outcome. A consequence is the same concept. When I can do whatever I want, that permission statement we talked about yesterday, but how do I choose to feel? What type of outcome do I want? And having a toolbox to help you with your triggered emotions of whatever they may be, your emotional hunger, and making sure that those tools are going to serve you and help you move through whatever discomfort, whatever uncomfortable emotion or sensation you're going through, but it's going to lead to your long-term satisfaction, not that instant gratification, because that's the difference between the long game, the short game. What game am I playing for? Am I playing for the short game, or am I playing for the long game? It's a game, you guys, but it's time you start winning at it versus face planting. I think I had somebody in here ask the question about YouTube. Yes, these are YouTube shorts, but we're actually live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and then chopping them into shorts as well. So they are in there. We have that whole 30-day holiday series. So today is day 8. And great news, if you click the link in the bio, we have a really, really awesome special for you guys from now until Friday. You have this whole book. Okay, this whole book, you're going to have private coaching with me, because I have been getting a lot of you guys message me, and I wanted to create something special and affordable, which I've never done ever in the 18 years of coaching. I've never given away something practically for free. If you click the link in my bio, it is tanyacoliver.com/holidays. You are going to get this whole 20-page ebook that I wrote in 2016, and I only give my clients that we're going through here and explaining, as well as a traveler guide. You're going to get the bonus for the traveler guide, and that course is around $97, plus private coaching with me for 2 weeks when we're actually in the holidays in a private Facebook group, as well as a whole restaurant eating guide, and that's all going to be for $197. So that's on you if you want it. It's only going to be available until Friday for you guys to get the bonus for free, and plus private coaching with me, which is going to be worth over $20,000. So you guys are getting all that for only $197. And I only have limited space, so make sure you take advantage of that. It's only going to be open from now until Friday. So whoever's in is in, and we close the door and we start coaching on Friday. But I just want to let you guys know, because that's our November special gift for you guys. So getting back to emotional hunger, all right. Have you ever noticed, and I want you to ask yourself some questions. If you have pen and paper, it's great to have it as well. Have you ever noticed the connection between what you're doing and memories associated with it? People, places, events. You might even be having, as you thought by now you would be further ahead in life. You think you would be in that amazing relationship. You thought that you wouldn't be single anymore. You thought that your relationships now would be a lot better than what they are. and you just don't feel satisfied in your life. You feel that emotional hunger for more. Just go back and look and see this time of the year brings up a lot of triggers, a lot of memories. It could bring up sadness. It could bring up more cravings to help you numb whatever you're going through. So just pay attention. Like, what are these memories? What is this connection being brought up as far as like food memories or drinking and memories, people, places, and events? Maybe your craving comes out of nowhere. Okay, when the craving for something comes out of nowhere, that's when that vagus nerve gets activated. And we have to really have the proper tools to be able to be like, hold on, let me take a healthy time out. Let me figure out what's subconsciously going on, something that is unsettling, something that is unresolved, so we can get to the core of it, because cellular memory stays as an impression, as an imprint, if we do not move through it. It only creates more suppression when we try to shut it up and shut it down. And emotion is energy in motion. Emotions need to be moved, or else they create impressions inside of you on a cellular level. And guess who gets affected at the end of the day? You. And it only builds up more and more and more and more until you figure out something called cellular memory release. There are many different tools to help with cellular memory release. There's always an end target and multiple paths to an end target. That's why there's so many different options. And if you look at options as a blessing, because we are all different. We like different things. We like different forms of exercise. We like different forms of food. We come from different cultural backgrounds. We have different careers. You know, you are the athlete, your career is your sport. We have multiple different sports to play, different positions within each sport. It's the same concept. There is an end target. You can be the best of the best of the best in your lane and choose the lane that's going to be in alignment to you, that is most fulfilling. Not saying it's going to be easy. Even if you're on a lane that you love and it's passionate, there's still going to be obstacles and challenges and adversity and pain. But how are you moving through it? How do you get back up when you face plant? Do you get back up? Do you get up and keep trying again? Or do you stay down and say, I'm never going to get to my end target? Because that's not what life is about. It's a game. And the moment you look at it in a new way, your life is going to shift for the better. And thriving is really about that. Maybe from here on out, you don't face plant as hard, and maybe you trip and fall, but you can get back up a lot faster and you don't have so many things to clean up. We say find the message in our mess. And so this emotional hunger about memories and attachment, for whatever reason, when those memories attachment, they always come up during the holidays. People are trying to remind us of who we were a year, 2, 5 years ago, and it's not even our storyline again. So we have to reintroduce ourselves. We have to anticipate certain conversations around certain people that we have outgrown, but we have to come together with them. I mean, we don't have to, but we choose to because we love them. And often throw us off course. And so are you prepared for that? Do you have your arsenal of tools so that you can actually win this year versus feeling like you got set back? There are 3 types of people in the world, and each human being, fits in each placement of this category during certain times, situations, and events. We just have to make sure that we want to be in those categories during those times versus get caught up in them blindly. We have the influenced. So we are being influenced when you hire a mentor, a coach. If somebody has what you want and you're trying to learn, like you want to be a student. We have the influencer, the person that is the leader. I'm here right now in this position teaching you some amazing things that took me a long time to figure out, overcoming addiction, helping thousands of people online and in person, speaking, coaching, seeing that this stuff works, helping people overcome even extremes of addiction, working with professional athletes and high-end celebs and elite entrepreneurs that are making anywhere from 7, 8, 9 figures. This stuff works. So in this situation, me being very confident and knowing that it works and trying to fast track you, so preventing you from having to suffer anymore, that would be you being here, being, me being the influencer. So I'm influencing you now, and you're the influencee, so you're being influenced. And then we have, so if you come here and you don't agree with anything that I'm saying, agree to disagree and not allow it to impact you, because everything is energy. And so depending on where you're generating your energy, even if you decide this is a conversation not worth, like, you're not going to impact me because I know this shiznit works. So you trying to sit here and argue with me, we could just agree to disagree because I'm not going to put my energy on there. So we have those 3 categories of people: the influenced, the influencer, and the agree to disagree. And knowing when, time, place to fit in each category. I'm always going to be a student. I'm always going to be a teacher. It's my calling. And I'm always going to be the one to hold my ground no matter what I encounter and stay true to what I believe as to be truth. And so there are times where I'm going to agree to disagree because I can see where people are so convinced that their beliefs are their truth. And belief and truth are not in the same bracket. Beliefs are programming. Truth is heartfelt. Truth is recognized, and it cannot be learned. But it can be reprogrammed, and you can get your brain to get on the same page as understanding what your life course and your life path is. Because nobody's going to be able to know what is in your heart, what is your passion, what brings you fulfillment. And ideally, I pray for you that you at least are on the journey of figuring out what brings you fulfillment, because only you're going to know what is going to bring you fulfillment, what is going to allow you to feel satisfied. What's going to make you feel satisfied and fulfilled might not be the same as what it's going to be for me or your friends or XYZ. That's your job. That's your responsibility. Happiness is a byproduct of fulfillment. So until you're fulfilled, and fulfillment comes in here, not from here, we just want to make sure that these things are like intertwined and they're communicating and they're on the same page, your heart and your brain. So emotional hunger is come back to, there are instances where what we're truly searching for can't be found in stimulation or stimulants. Food, marijuana, alcohol, drugs, relationships. Because what we're really searching for are the memories of what something once brought us. So maybe you have this memory of a loved one that's no longer physically here. And you're trying to suppress that pain with numbing yourself and feeling like food, alcohol, substances are going to bring back that love, the comfort, safety, and the connection that you had with that person that might not be here anymore. What's up, King of Debt? You feel me? And this is what emotional hunger is. So get clear this holiday season. What are you emotionally hungry for? We talked real quick for those of you that just joined us, 4 basic needs of human behavior. And understanding how we can fulfill those through safety and security, through nourishment, through love and appreciation. I think I dropped it down somewhere. I don't know where it went. I have like all these really cool apps open for you guys. And so why is it that we have a hard time letting go of undesired eating habits and behaviors, or toxic habits and behaviors? We hold on to a lot of stuff. So cellular impression, cellular memory that isn't in line with us feeling, looking, and showing up in our business and our life the way that we want to look, feel, and live, because we're attached. Attachment has a lot to do with cravings and desires as well. By the thought of connecting, that thought of that that allowing us to feel reconnected and satisfied, but it's instant gratification. That's playing for the short game. Blinded by overall the picture of the damage it does to our mental, physical, or emotional and energetic state. So that was like what we covered today. All right. Make sure if you guys want this whole book, if you have any questions, I'm going to see in here. You guys have any questions in regards to emotional hunger, basic needs, understanding what your needs are, and getting really clear on what you're hungry for, like truly hungry, cravings and desires, and understanding that cravings and desires can only be filled by you. It's nobody's job. It's nobody's responsibility to fulfill those needs other than yourself. And the whole part of self-mastery is really getting to know all aspects of self: mind, body, spirit, emotional states, emotional intelligence, emotional management, emotional mastery. All those come into placement. So great news that I have for you guys. As I mentioned a little bit midway through, we have the Holiday Thriver Game Plan Coaching opening up on Friday. All right, we still have this 30-day live. Today's the day 8. We open up the doors. Private exclusive Facebook group is going to happen for a select group that takes advantage from now until Friday. You're going to get the traveler playbook. So traveling is no longer going to be an issue for you. Everything you need to know. And then also restaurant eating. If you go out a lot, if you fly a lot, if you're at events a lot, like literally it's like so much content we're giving to you for only $197 from now until Friday. So make sure you take advantage of this. The website is Tanya C. Oliver, TanyaColiver.com/holidays. The link is in the bio. I'll put the link in here. The link is going to be in the caption. I hope you guys loved today. You can send me a message a little bit later if you have any questions. Tomorrow we're going on at 12 p.m. We're going to be talking about willpower. We're going to be talking about how to strengthen a weak will, because willpower is one of the biggest things people are constantly complaining about as well. How do I strengthen my willpower? How do I have stronger will? We're going to cover that tomorrow. There's 5 core things in order to strengthen willpower. Little things that we don't even realize are destroying us. And so I'll see you guys tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. And we also have some really cool things. So make sure you're checking out the links in the bio. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Make good decisions. And I'll see you later. Bye. Bye, you guys. I'll put this in here. Put it in here. TLandDroidDrives.com. Holidays. Yeah, make sure you guys get this, because from now until Friday, it is literally like the cheapest thing I've ever put out my entire life. So yeah, that's for you guys. I know you want it. A lot of people were asking me about coaching and something more in alignment. So yes. Awesome. See you guys later. Mwah. Bye.